What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 9 of Guardians franchise. It's opening day 2025. Obviously, I left you right at the beginning of opening day here in the last episode, so no preamble about what we've been doing. Nothing, right? I literally stopped, used the restroom, refilled my water, and jumped back on to do this episode. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the team who made the ball club. Here are your 2025 Cleveland Guardians. At catcher, we still have Bo Naylor. And I did mention that he did learn first, which is nice, and that could come in handy down the line. He is still a really intriguing hitter. He had a disastrous season last year with just a 78 WRC plus, but there's upside. He did still put up 1.4 WAR, so his defense was doing something last year, which is nice, and credit where it's due, because that's usually the weakness, and instead it kind of salvaged his season last year a bit. Tomas Nido brought in to back up. He'll be our big defensive catcher. He won't even play every backup game because we do have David Fry who's going to start against lefties, so we are running a 3-catcher system right now, and for now it works. If David Fry doesn't kind of figure some things out and deliver a positive bat, I'll have to give it up. I admitted last episode that this is one that I'm kind of hanging on to because I really like him in real life. He's a fun kind of super utility guy. And there are grades of super utility because I don't think he's a great fielder anywhere. But because he has the catcher aspect, I think that kind of boosts it to the super utility. If you can play, both corner outfields, both corner infields, and catcher, that's pretty nice. That's a nice little, Swiss Army knife of sorts there, and he hits lefties very well, but the leash is tight this year on Fry. He's got to do some things, or as we start to have to do roster maneuverability, he'll be the one pinched. But Nido does bring the big defense with 65 blocking, 65 framing, and 70 arm, and he's a leader with high work ethic. Fry is a leader and has high adaptability, which is great because he does move around to all these different positions, so at least there are those positive aspects. Bo's brother Josh will be manning first base, of course, and he's somebody that we have some big expectations for this year too. Was hoping that he could keep it going last year after 2 good seasons in a row, but he jumped down to 98 WRC plus, so about a league average guy. Talked to you guys about how we had to battle him in arbitration. We did win 7.7 to I think 9.2 million was his number. I love that he doesn't strike out. Solid BABIP, some decent pop, but he doesn't walk, so he has to hit. That's the beauty of those guys with the high I, is that when you take that double-digit walk rate, you put less of a burden on your bat. Well, Naylor doesn't do that, so we have to have a high bar of expectation for his bat. He should learn from brother Bo and figure out how to take some walks. Andres Jimenez coming in at second base, brilliant defender with a wonderful speed profile. He's a spark plug and a capable bat. He's been league average pretty much the last 2 years, 93, 97. We'll round up, call that league average for him. 2 and 3 wins respectively. The defense and speed certainly supplement his bat to where even if he is just a low to mid 90s WRC plus total, that's fine. There is upside for more. We saw it in 2022. He could tap into that again, but even if he doesn't, there is a nice floor here. The 26-year-old Jimenez is a key part of this ball club. The man, the myth, the legend, J-Ram, coming off a huge 7-win season that was unfortunately kind of wasted. But obviously, he's a god. He's starting to mount a Hall of Fame case at this point. Age 32. Let's see what he can do in his 30s. Can he push to where he is a very valid Hall of Fame candidate? But right now, he is laying that groundwork. Here's hoping he has another excellent season for us. Oh, the one thing I did say I was going to do that I didn't was set all the backup stuff. So we'll do that together. Sorry, I lied. Brian Rocchio at short. He had a nice season, 105 WRC plus last year with solid defense, 1.2 WAR. I do want more than that, admittedly. I wonder, maybe his defense kind of fell short last year because with that bat, I would have thought it would have been similar to Jimenez. Oh, yeah, I guess he's not that great of a shortstop. Okay. He had minus 11 there. Yeah, because his arm isn't amazing, but I love the range at 65, error at 70, and turn double play at 60. So the elements are certainly there. Is Is Jimenez better at short? Should they switch? Yes, they should. I think we're going to make that switch right now, Rocchio and Jimenez. Jimenez got moved off of short in real life, and I understand, but he's a little bit better with the ratings here. Whatever is the assessment about his real life work, he doesn't play short anymore. But for us, I think Jimenez at short makes sense. Chase DeLauder coming in left field. He got knocked out there. Let's try that again. And he comes in with some expectation as well. We brought him up last year, played 98 games, put up a 105 WRC plus. Really want him to become something. He's got that extra 15 potential of power that he will have to tap into, at least 10 points of it, if he's going to be, a top half of the batting order player for us. So this is kind of a pivotal year for him. Not like an end-all be-all type. When I say pivotal, I mean he can really turn a corner and become something. If it is either similar or even a bit worse than last year, it's not like all hope would be lost. This is literally his age 23 season. So, no, I don't want to overstate the case there with DeLauder. We do have Heston Kjerstad starting in center. Now, thankfully, a second run in the lab. We had enough time to do second runs for a handful of guys. It was only defensive stuff, though, because that only takes 4 to 5 weeks. But Kjerstad was one of the beneficiaries there, and now he's a 60 range, which does make it plausible to put him in center. I don't love it. I usually like to have a real premier center fielder. We just don't have that right now. That said, I don't know if he's going to hold there because I had mentioned that I might not start Freeman in right. He was only out there in right to get the training for spring training. So I think if we're going to play, I think we're going to run DeLuca both ways, where he'll be a bit of a bat expectation against lefties, but then literally the 9-hitter against righties, right? You don't have to do too much. You just got to kind of survive there because he does have a pretty distinct split in his bat. So we'll kind of run him on that, two different guys, literally leading off against lefties, batting 9 against righties. So that's fine. It's kind of a different personality type there as a platoon guy, but we can work with that. We'll put Kjerstad as the backup center fielder. So then DeLuca comes in and, again, the bat is not much against righties, but it does get a nice healthy boost against lefties. And he has the 65 range that we really want in center as kind of a bare minimum with 65 air and 50 arm. Not a huge arm, but that's okay. As long as you're tracking things down, I don't need the arm to be off the charts for center field. And then Kyle Stowers will play in the DH role. Can mix in right, does have a 60 arm, but I love the 60 pop. Does his best work against righties. Not a 0 against lefties, but does take some hits. Loses 10 BABIP, 5 avoid K, equal gap, but loses 5 power and 5 I. So loses something in 4 categories. So there is a pretty decent platoon there. Stowers batting 7th here against righties. He's got to be 9th if he does play against lefties. I'm not even sure he does because Renfroe comes in. So there we are against right-handers. Against lefties, we do get David Fry in at the catcher position, and then Renfroe comes in right. Remember, he's got a monstrous bat against lefties. And then let's switch Rocchio and Jimenez again. Oh, and then I guess, wait. We do have Tyler Freeman at DH. Okay. Because I was going to say, picking up our discussion from the end of last episode about, guys that don't have a starting role either way, I guess if Freeman doesn't start against lefties, it'll be Arias, though. So it's one or the other. Let's make it Arias. So now Freeman fulfills that role of being kind of a super utility defender who, I don't love the bat. It's Stephen Kwan, Miles Straw-esque, where it's kind of all batting average. So he's got to run hot for it to even kind of come through. But he can run. He's a spark plug. So there's value there. But he won't have a starting role against either side. But I like that a little bit more than I do Arias. I didn't really like having Arias not play anywhere. That felt less than ideal. Now, we don't have to have Arias backing up these other positions because we don't really want starters backing up positions. That's another thing you want to be careful with, because then guys will tire out for sure. So let's put Freeman as the backup infielder at second, third, and short. DeLauder and Stowers are the backup outfielders. We'll get Kerstead backup center fielder still. Now that's a spot where we do have a starter as the backup, but it's just kind of how it has to be right now. And we'll see if we can eventually, you know, we're going to give DeLauder an opportunity here, but if he doesn't hit kind of early, like he's probably going to get a 3 to 5 week sort of run here. And if the bat isn't there, probably send him out for somebody who can hold center a bit more to loosen up that sort of weird log jam there where it's not even a log jam, where just that weird situation where Kerstead, a starter, is backing up DeLuca in center. I don't love that. But all right, there we go. So Stowers, DeLauder, Freeman, Nito, and Naylor on the bench against lefties. Nito, Fry, Freeman, Arias, Renfroe against righties. And then with Naylor, yeah, see, he loses 5 eye power and 10 gap against lefties. So he really comes down. I'm going to make him start every third against lefties. Actually, you know what? No. Let's put him at backup first base. He can back up Big Bro because he can actually play that position. So there we go. We'll use his newfound position. So then Nito will be the backup, and he'll start every third game against lefties. Because Fry's not a very good catcher, we also want Nito on a defensive sub. And we'll say that Fry, even if he's playing well, he can be removed as a defensive sub as early as the 7th inning. We'll get a good catcher in there for those last 3 innings. Okay, so there we go with that. There's no if starter tired. That's all we want here. We don't want anybody taking games. Yeah, I think that's good there. Actually, we will have Renfroe be the backup DH. Arias is the backup infielder at all the positions. Although neither Arias nor Freeman start against righties, so we can loosen that load on Arias a little bit by giving Freeman a couple spots. Is Freeman the better shortstop? He's a 50. And Arias is a 60, so no, absolutely not. Actually, we'll have Freeman back up first, and Arias can back up second and short. Okay, cool. So there we got that. And I don't think we need... we'll have Tyler Freeman play every third game against lefties. We want to get him in. Let's see if he can become something. I don't want to just bury him. So there's the offense. Let's go to the pitching now. Shane Bieber, our ace. We're still going to trust him as our ace. He did take a little bit of a hit, losing some stuff and stamina. Didn't love that after signing him to a deal, but he's our dude. We're trusting him. Reynaldo Lopez, brought in the Stephen Kwan deal. Probably more the Lamont Wade deal would be the better way to call it, because I don't even think they have Stephen Kwan anymore. I think he got picked up in the expansion draft. Yeah, he's on Portland. So it'll henceforth be known as the Lamont Wade Jr. deal. So the Braves still have him. But yeah, we figured picking up Raylo, I like it. Spore favorite in real life, so I'm already interested from that standpoint. Solid ratings. Coming off a tough season, but I think we can get better out of him. I'll try to get him to that very high scouting accuracy. Somebody had an amazing comment a few episodes ago that I can't remember it word for word. I'm not going to pull it up, but it was about how I'm always scouting people. Like, even if they have high, I want it to get to very high. And sometimes even when they have very high, I'm like, let's get a fresh one. And they were just memeing on that. And I know that, like, setting up, saying how funny something was and then actually not telling you what it was is, like, so lame. But I apologize because I just thought of it randomly, but I can't remember it word for word, and so I don't want to do it a disservice. But it was a good roast. Tanner Bybee took a big hit. We sent him into the development lab. He had low work ethic. I haven't been able to check that yet to see if that's always been there. But holy shit, did it go sideways. He's still a pretty good pitcher. Like, I still have some high hopes for him, but that was tough, man. Logan Allen was, I didn't mention this in any of the offseason episodes. He was highly sought after this offseason. The deals sucked. They weren't all bad, in fairness. There were some that were like, okay, I could mold something here, but I just don't want to trade him. He's our only lefty starter. Cantillo eventually will be, but no, I just didn't want to trade him. Gavin Williams was the trade. Heston Kjerstad deal. I'm happy with that, but I don't want to trade starters now. And then McKenzie, coming off a really rough season, but we need him to step up. Spark plug, great control. Figure out a way to shave some of those homers. We'll probably try to work on his movement next year in the development lab for sure. Emmanuel Clase will be our closer. He did lose some stamina, so he's going to go back down to, just straight up 1 inning at a time. The occasional 4 or 5 out save. But then Joey Cantillo and Franco Alman are going to be our big stoppers, our lefty-righty combo here. Very excited about Cantillo. Would love to see him put up a huge season as a stopper here and then transition into the bullpen or into the rotation next year. Or maybe even this year if a need arises. Obviously, I'd love for that not to happen, but let's be realistic about it. It probably will at some point. That's just how pitching works. And then Franco Alman could also maybe matriculate over to the rotation. That's right. He went to the development lab, Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. And worked on stamina. So boom, now all of a sudden he's got 35 stamina and he could get into the starting rotation. And he's got amazing stuff. Solid green, home run BABIP and control. Potential for 5 more on his control. This could be a real development here with Franco Alman. Brought him up to be in the bullpen last year. He pitched brilliantly. And now with just a little sprinkle of stamina, the outlook is really different and could be really special for us. I really like the situation that we're in here with 4 legitimate starter potentials in the bullpen between Alman, Kyle Bradish, Joey Cantillo, and Daniel Espino. Like, that is nice spot to be in. Kyle Bradish will be our primary middle reliever. He's coming off a dreadful year. Remember, we tried to claim him off of waivers, but then he got cut by Baltimore, so he was no longer on waivers, obviously. So we had to give him a straight-up contract. The tough part about that was he wasn't making much from Baltimore. They had signed him to a $1.6 million deal. That's what we would have been picking up. Instead, he goes to free agency and ends up getting paid. But I don't mind that. We're paying him 6, 9, and 9, all 3 years guaranteed. No big deal. 3 years, 24. He's got a pretty good amount of wiggle room to where that can still work. So we don't need him to become the guy that he was in 2023 for it to work. He can frankly be the guy he was in 2022 and it would work. But he's going to be in the bullpen anyway for the most part. So there's a chance for him to really be a stud for us or maybe find his way back into the rotation. James Karinchak is, kind of a Guardians staple right now as a setup guy. How's he doing this year in real life? I don't have a read on what he's been up to. And I've actually watched a decent number of their games this year. It's because he's not playing. At least I'm not missing it. I think that'd be better. That's better than if he was pitching a whole bunch and my dumbass just wasn't noticing some Gronk-like figure coming out there. What is his injury? I truly don't remember here. So I'm going to find out real fast. Karinchak, shoulder, 60-day IL. They did that on March 29th. Okay, so he can't even come back until late this month in real life here, of course. So anyway, he was fine last year. We didn't put too much pressure on him. 3.48 ERA, 1.48 WHIP. That's obviously really bad, but he was pitching kind of mid-leverage, low-leverage type stuff. Actually, I think I did have the high leverage tag on him, but he was like one of 4 or 5 guys because, as you can see, I put that on a decent number of guys here. So he really wasn't in a big, a key cog of our bullpen last year. Had a huge spring, though. 2.04 ERA, 1.08 WHIP with the 22% strikeout minus walk. Sam Hentges will be our other lefty with Cantillo. He's trying to rebound from a dreadful 2024 in both the majors and the minors. In the minors, he had a 3.43 ERA, but don't let that fool you. It came with a 1.57 WHIP. That shit is terrible. So I don't want to hear, his ERA wasn't too bad. Yeah, whatever. His skills were horrendous. He walked the yard. That's the real problem. He's got a 50 control. That shouldn't be walking that many guys. Oh, wow. Whoa. What are they doing here? I did not do these. So sometimes the computer does their own stuff here. I don't want his hook to be all the way up. If he's pitching poorly, get him the hell out. All right, we'll do this for Sam Hentges. And then Daniel Espino, kind of here in like a super follower role. Now, I didn't put him as follower, but his secondary role is stopper. So I want him to get into those multi-inning situations. I only put 15 batters faced right now on McKenzie. And that's the idea. And obviously, here's one thing I don't know. Because I thought about going opener McKenzie, follower Espino. But I don't know if they artificially limit how many batters the opener can face. Because I do want him to face like 15 to 18 batters. However long that gets McKenzie through. Let's just try it with the traditional setup of opener follower, so that they're kind of tied to each other that way. I think that'll work. That might work better. Now, if we're, because I gave Espino 15 batters faced as well. No, I did not raise. Actually, I did do this. Sorry, I can't blame the computer. I did raise his hook. I did it for the relief one, but I guess I do want it for the follower one here too. Now, if we start seeing a bunch of 1-2 inning outings out of McKenzie, we're gonna change this. I don't want that. I really want him to be getting 3 to 5 innings, even with a chance. Actually, I'm gonna give him 18 batters faced, even with a chance at being, a 6-inning guy when he's pitching really well. So we'll see how that goes for him. Let's go ahead and fix all of his stuff here so that we can do override. Because if you do adjust to team strategy, this still does something, by the way. So say I do pitch around all the way up here, which that's worth doing when a guy has great control, because their control will basically kind of keep them in the zone still. They'll almost be, kind of trying to Maddox things and dot, as opposed to, if you put pitch around high up on a low control guy, he'll be thrown all over the place. But with a high control guy, it almost kind of zeroes in. The notion of it, of how it can work to your benefit, is that it zeroes in their precision, and then they start working. So they're trying to pitch around, but their control is so good that they're still throwing strikes, right? Like they're getting called strikes type of vibe. That's at least how it works in theory. But what I want to do, so when you adjust to team strategy, let's say our normal team strategy has pitch around right here, 1 click up, and then I move it up to here. So it would take into account that we start at 1 click, and then it would do some extra influence here based on the fact that we're adjusting it to the team strategies. At least this is how I understand it. If you know to the contrary, please correct me. I do work for them, but I work on Perfect Team, and I don't know everything. So if I'm ever saying something that's like completely wrong, please feel free to correct me. I'm happy to be corrected when I'm wrong on something. But anyway, that's how I understand it. So then if you want to just do the things that you're doing here, you would override the team strategy settings. So now the pitch around is going to be all the way up here for him. They're going to push his hook a little bit for McKenzie. They're not going to play the infield in, et cetera, et cetera. You get it. So that's how I'm going to try this with the opener follower setup between he and Espino, and hopefully they stay linked. Because basically I would love to get 6 to 8 innings, really, depending on how well they're pitching. But 5 to 7 innings probably more likely, but upwards of 6 to 8 innings from those two every 5th day would be amazing. The only thing that could be better is if they were righty-lefty, but I'll take 2 great righties. They do have different profiles, right? McKenzie's going to open the game, kind of finesse, working around the edges of the zone, trying to get you to chase, etc. And then Espino's going to come in and just go crazy on him. And his strategy, as you can see, pitch around comes down. In fact, let's override with him too. So I want to move the shifts up. I don't want him to get shortchanged. Now, shifts are banned as far as the extreme shifts, but you can still do some shifting. So we want them to do the most that they can do. Just so you're clear on that. Like, why are you pushing that all the way up? You can't do shifts. For the most part, not really. You can't do much, but I want the little adjustments that you can still do. All right, so there we go. The team is set. Who knew that it would take 24 minutes to go through the team? I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, we'll do like 5-minute intro of the team, and then we'll do opening day, and off we go into the first month. But no, we're still going to go for a while here. One thing I have noticed, well, actually, I guess it's just the first 2, but opening with 2 game sets is a little weird. Now, I mentioned, with our new schedule, the one thing I was hoping is that it would still keep Monday, Thursday off days. They've done that. So if the trade-off is a handful more of 2 game sets because we did expand, cool, I'll take it. Even though it doesn't really affect the game. I still don't like when you get a schedule where Friday becomes the off day, like, because it's so stupid, right? And we like to write little storylines and things like that, and so it wouldn't really interrupt that to a crazy degree, but it would just look so weird. So I'm glad that didn't happen. I don't know why I crossed my fingers, but I'm like glad that didn't happen. The schedule came out just fine. Boston, they are projected in our division. Don't forget, we are in Boston's division now. They're projected to be 74 and 88, so not a huge season for them. The Dachshunds coming in at 59 and 103 projection. The Rosebuds also 59 and 103, which, hey, they're expansion teams. When I was saying that they put together some decent ball clubs, I wasn't lying, but I also don't think that that means that they should be like uber competitive. And they did fill in their, well, for the most part, never mind, they're not completely filled. In fact, the New Orleans Diplomats have 0 players. Well, they're going to have to figure that out with the draft this year. Ooh, you know what I could maybe do to help them? And we would get help from it too. Every team would. But maybe we expand the draft this year. Just for this 1 year here, if we jump up to 30 rounds so that they can get, 10 extra players, I think that might actually make some sense. Although I do hope that it wouldn't screw things up. That would be my only concern. So, let's see. Generate players for 30 rounds. Okay, so that's already happened. And then, okay, it hasn't been revealed yet. The draft pool gets revealed in 5 days. So I think if you do everything before then you'll be fine. So let's pop this up to 30 and let's generate enough players for 40. And let's hope that doesn't completely F everything up. But I think it makes sense to help these two teams get some more talent going. It's actually going to maybe create a little hassle for us because we're already kind of overstuffed on talent. I wish we could just give some of the excess players over to those teams to fill out their minors, but we're not going to go through all that. Let's go ahead and get started here. Game 1 against Boston. Who is their ace? It is Garrett Whitlock. Big time control artist. He actually looks like Mackenzie supercharged. Let's see if we can beat them on opening day here in Cleveland. Don't go to their schedule. Do it on our page. There we go. Game 1. Bang! 6-4 dub. We love to see it. 4 ribbies for Kyle Stowers. J-Ram goes yard. Stowers did hit a 3-run homer there. Bieber, excellent. Don't worry about the bad spring. Almon gets smoked. Made it a close game there, but that's all right. We got to Whitlock. We tacked on another one against Criswell, and we held on for the dub. Game 2. Get another dub, but oh no, Brian Rocchio. Out 5 weeks with a strained bicep. All right, well, we were talking about Arias and Freeman getting PT. That's the thing with this game and with real-life baseball. Truly, right? You're worried about someone not playing, like, oh, they've got too much talent. Just wait a couple games. That's just the truth of it, right? I'm not trying to be morbid or ugly about it, but that's just the truth. Somebody will get hurt in relatively short order and likely create the opening you need for said player, especially if it's pitching. All right, we got Raylo. Full report here. Do we lose anything? His overall, no, that's old. Okay, so he was fine. He was on high, so I didn't expect things to change. Canoe, I think, was on average, though. So let's see if you got anything. Ooh, here we go. Potential contact goes up from 55 to 60. Current speed drops from 65 to 60. Okay. But then current and potential gap both go up. Bang. So a little juice there for Juan Canuel. Canuel? I don't know. I'm still not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Cannell. Juan Cannell. No, that's not how to pronounce it. All right, so he's looking really nice. And he was top prospect. Oh, I have international finds. That's the ones that, he went down to Brazil and found this guy or whatever. I usually do a playlist, a short list for the international signings, but we'll just know. We can look in the history. It's not usually that necessary, but you know what? Where they're really useful for me to make different ones, even if a guy is on more than one, is when you go here and you go to organization, minor leagues, then you can go in your customization here, and then you can select the playlist. I said playlist again. You can select the short list, and it's easy to kind of check in on that whole group there, right? So, like, let's look at our top prospects one here, and you can see that we got our top prospect group, and we got Condon, and well, okay, is Espino not on it? Yeah, he is. Where the heck is he? Shortlist is top prospects. Where the frick is Espino? All players in the minor league system. Hey, dummy. He's in the majors. You stupid idiot. Okay, well, literally was expressing why I liked it. And one of the points I was going to say is because it shows you the guys in the minor leagues and you can easily look at their stats. And the first thing I get tripped up on is the fact that it doesn't show major leaguers. Yo, I've been saying this word a lot, but I biffed it again, dude. I've been biffing left and right like a real dweeb. All right, so we take the first two there. We do lose Rocchio. We do have to reconcile that. Let's go down to Columbus here. Who do we want? The stats aren't going to tell us anything. It's not Condon time yet. I don't want to hear anything about that. Is it Khalil Watson time yet, though? Now that is intriguing. That might be the answer. Because if it's Urias time, then we have to, get him back down when push comes to shove, and we got to make that move again. I don't know if it's Watson time yet. He's 10 short in the eye and power of what his potential can be, and he's got 40 avoid K. So I do worry that it could be troublesome, but he's got the 60 gap, and it's 50 power and eye. Like, those are fine. It's just that he can get to 60 on both. Good speed profile, great defense. I mean, he makes some good, clean sense. Is he dropping down the prospect list? 58. He was 54. Yeah, he's dropping. No, wrong way. Don't do that. 84. Does y'all show this development with the chance and all that, or is that just something with my because I got like a dev copy or whatever, so I can work on the stuff that I do. I don't know. I don't think this is in everybody's, but if you're wondering what that is, I think that it's just something really. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just something that shows up. Oh, it says development right here, but that's the development of the player. I don't think that means you're using a development product, whatever. But anyway, I don't know if I want to call up Watson yet. It is 5 weeks though. Like that's like a decent run. Because if I call up Ibanez, he can't play short. And so, well, actually, short's not open. That's right. We moved Jimenez there. So it is second base. I think for now we can put Freeman there. Freeman, hello. They did have Travis Freeman. Some people remember him more from Cleveland than they do the Tigers. I obviously don't, but yeah, they do. Okay, it's Ibanez or Watson. I'm just going to go Ibanez. We don't have to add Khalil to the 40-man yet or anything. Let's go with the team we got right now. Let's see what they can do. Wait. Okay, Watson was playing. Where is he? Oh, he's playing second. That was Ibanez at third. Okay, sorry. My eyes played tricks on me there. I was like, why isn't Watson playing second? I mean, why isn't he playing short? Angel Martinez is not better at short. You know what? I'm going to force start Watson at short. Bang. Done. Like, come on. What are we doing? Well, that created a litany of moves there when I said to do that. Wow, that's interesting. So we do have Condon batting fourth against righties and lead off against lefties. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'd probably bat him third, but I'm not going to quibble over that. All right, we called up our guy. Don't get derailed, Paul. You little goober. All right, we'll put Ibanez in some backup roles here. Actually, we'll put Arias here. We don't need Freeman backing up because he's a starter now. Like I said, we don't want to stress out. We don't want us to have a starter backing up other positions if you can avoid it. All right, then against lefties, Actually, it will be Ibanez. So Freeman's only going to get the strong side. Because Ibanez rakes lefties. And he did very well for us last year in that role. So now we only have Tomas Nido. So, hey, we're down to one, and it's a backup catcher who isn't starting against righties or lefties. That's a good spot to be in. All right, let's get some games going. We won 4-3 in that second game. Little quick hitter in Baltimore for 2. Let's see what we can do against them. Then we get Charlotte in Charlotte for a 3-pack. We're going to pwn your team, sure. Shut up, stick boy. We lose 6-5 to Baltimore. And then we win 8-3. Johnny DeLuca, sore back, out 5 days. That actually sucks. Or it's expected to take 5 days to recover. Injury proneness durable. My ass, bro. I'm kidding. Yeah, that sucks because, I mean, it's 5 days, so we're going to ride it out. But it sucks because of our center field position. We're going to let him take 2 of the days off and kind of go from there. So we'll get Kerstead some days in center. And we do get the 8-3 win, which was nice. Speaking of Kerstead, he hit a 2-run shot off Hunter Green. Okay. Little Hunter Green action. What'd they trade there? Jorge Mateo, Silas Ardoin, and Luis De Leon. Wow. This is another one of those. I don't like this one nearly as much as the Ortiz DL Hall for Corbin Burns. But this is definitely another one of those deals where you look at it and you're like, they didn't really give up much. And they basically got a free shot at like a big arm. And I don't really like that for Cincy at all. Cincy needs to get arms. I understand like the worries about Lodolo or Green working in that park. In fact, I traded both of them in the first year of my Reds franchise just because I knew that home run suppression wasn't going to work with them. And but I think I got pitching back in at least one of the deals because they didn't want to trade the pitching so much. I just wanted to trade that profile. Anyway, Green got smoked. Mateo's not even with the Reds anymore. Ardoin is in the minors, and Luis De Leon is like a decent guy at AA. Yeah, so they didn't do very well on that deal. Cal Manzardo in Baltimore, off to a decent start here, 4 games in. Played as a league average guy for 380 plate appearances last year. I'm not sure if I ever shared that or not, but he was okay. But nothing that we're like, crazily missing. Got a couple emails here. Oh, just the little scouting reports coming in. So what's Charlotte been doing here in her first week? Portland's 1-3. Charlotte's also 1-3. Let's make them 1-6. Let's crush them. Game 1. I'm gonna lose now. I'm talking shit. Nope, we win 4-1, and then we win 5-1. Do 6-1. Go for the symmetry of it. Let's take a drink while it's saving. Oh, I see a little stat line here for Luis Robert Jr. They're just kind of talking about him during the load screen. We do end up getting the sweep at Charlotte. Luis Robert Jr. was available in the Espino offers. And, he looks great. He was actually a 70. He might have lost a little juice. Yeah, I guess his overall potential dropped 5 points to 65. So, small little drops. Because don't forget, this is on 0 and 5. And I say this sometimes to remind myself. Because I'd be like, well, nothing changed, and yet he went down. It's not that nothing changed. It's that with everything being on 0s and 5s, he could have lost a bunch of little 2 and 3 point hitters everywhere that led to a -5 in his overall drop, but didn't show up in terms of specific categories dropping down to the next 0 or 5. And so that's something my Twitch chat always reminds me of. And I'm like, oh yeah, good call. But anyway, Robert was offered up. I mean, he would fix the center field issue. He was a righty. I'm nervous. He's not making too much money. 15 this year, 20, and then a team option for 20. So that wasn't the problem. It's just that freaking plate discipline. And I know that's not the end all be all and that you can succeed without it. But even last year, he came back down to earth, 102 WRC+. He still put up 4 WAR, probably because of his brilliant defense in center. It just made me a little nervous. I will say the price is pretty nice there on that contract. I will be open to looking into it maybe. I don't even know if it'll still be available. Sorry if you're hearing that squeaking there. I'm like moving this little foot mat as I'm trying to bring it closer to me. But yeah, like, whoops, I didn't mean to scout him, but I guess we're scouting him. Can we still do it? Cantillo or Espino. Wow. I don't think I want to do either of those, but good to know. But again, once I stepped back and I realized Condon is the answer to this issue, I stopped freaking out as much about looking for the guy, and so that's why I didn't even really fully investigate Robert as a deal. What do we got here? We got Fox going 5 for 5. Well, Jake Fox, 5-hit barrage. Wonderful. Power rankings were number 1. You knew that when you get the email. At least for me, whenever I get the email, it means we're number 1. I don't think they get emailed every week. There's still international amateurs available. Oh, Federico Villarreal. Isn't too bad. I'd sign him if we could, but we don't have any money. He only wants $230,000 too. Hey, I wonder if anybody has any money left. Padres, you got $1 million. What are you doing with that? Can we get some of that money that you're not using? Give it all to me. Uh-oh. We might have ourselves a little deal here. Speaking of Jake Fox, did we just turn around and flip him immediately? Like he's got a dog shit personality, no power to speak of. Well, not no power, no home run power. He actually has really good gap power and a good eye. Like there's a little something here. But I hate the power, or lack thereof. The defense sucks up the middle. The personality is terrible. He could go into a corner outfield spot, but he's not a standout there. What if we just do that for the money? Can we get a draft pick thrown in? Am I being too greedy here? Oh yeah, definitely. Oh wait, I didn't add him. I am but a moron. Do that. 7th rounder? No. Let's do 11th round. Okay. I'm not gonna do like a million different rounds. That's annoying. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Why not? Actually, hang on. Let's go back to this. He's 22. I think we can probably find somebody a bit older. Maybe has a similar outlook. Let's not go immediately to the 22-year-old. What about this guy? Joe Lamp actually has a similar profile, except instead of the gap power, he has a void Ks. He's a better defender. Okay, different profile. I'm off that now. The power is really the only thing. They're pretty much the same, except this is different, this is different, this is different. He plays a different position. He looks different. He is different. They're not the same. They just don't have power. But he's got a good speed profile, good range, but he's 24 years old. I don't really see him being any sort of factor for us. So I think that might make some sense to do that deal. Yeah, I think we do it with Lamp instead. I like Lamp. Jonathan Rodriguez did come up and play pretty well for us in 156 plate appearances last year. I like him a little bit more because he has a definitive potential role. You know, he's got the big arm in right, and he can hit left-handers. Right, so he can be Renfroe once Renfroe's gone. Like, you can see the clear role for him. With Lamp, I'm not really figuring out. I'm not really understanding what role he brings. So I'll try the draft pick again. I'll just do 12th. Okay. I'll stop. Let's take the $866,000 of international pool for Joe Lamp. Done. And now we go back here. This is just random spur of the moment because I saw that there's still a 50 guy with high work ethic available. Let's go ahead and try to get him. Let's give him 250 off rip. Ask for the response. Bang. What's this catcher looking like? Okay, he can even catch a little bit. He's kind of a dum-dum who doesn't like the lead and wants that money, but he can hit for some power. What kind of price does he want? He's not very expensive either. Let's do 290 for him. All right, let's not get too crazy here, because if they start asking for more money, then we won't have any money for them. You know what I'm saying? We'll start to run out, and then we'll whipsaw ourselves where we don't get anybody type vibe. Can you not add guys anymore? Okay, I guess you can't. Dang. Boom. I tricked it. I asked the scout to complete the invites. Let's go. I tricked it. And we might as well get the extra scouting in, right? Just makes things easier. It didn't increase our relationship here with Villarreal or Ayala, though. That's kind of what I was hoping for. But that's okay. All right, let's get back to it here. We're sitting 6-1. We're off to New York to finish up this road trip. We get 3 at the Yankees. Ooh, they signed Patrick Sandoval. There's somebody I can't quit. I love that guy, man. He's a good pitcher. He is. He's frustrating. He has flaws, and they show themselves with quite a bit of frequency, but he's a good pitcher. We take 2 from the Yankees, the first 2. Can we get all 3? Ah, damn. They beat us 9-7 and 11. Oh, man, look at this. EKG here at the end of the game. So David Peterson started for them. Okay, see, McKenzie only threw 1 inning. This is what I'm talking about. And then Espino's at the end closing here. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this. All right, we're taking off the opener. This is what I was worried would happen. It's fine. We tried it. Boom, we'll go back to that. And we'll leave all that there. Still put him on 18 batters face. That's fine. Espino still has 15 batters and an extended hook. Fine. No problem. Damn, our bullpen. Well, I guess we just played an extra innings game, so it's not too crazy that our bullpen is tired. That's how it works. All right, we're in first again on the power rankings. Look at us. Take a little off day, head to Milwaukee, and then, damn, and then Washington. We're on the road for damn near 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks out here on the road. This is a big road trip. Okay. Trip to Milwaukee now. Game 1 goes to us. So game 2 goes to them. Rubber match and a little save coming in. Let's take a drink. All right. Here's hoping that we can get this series here. We do with a 4-2 victory. So we had 4-2 bookended wins. 3 ribbies from Kerstead with his 2nd homer. Stowers hits his 6th homer. All right. We're not going to get into too many stats. We're going to check the stats at the end of the month. But then the 4-2 in the game 3 as well. You love to see that. Naylor hit a couple. Kerstead hit his 3rd. Bybee was nice. B. Woody's back for them. He ended up getting 3 games at the very end of 2024. He's been struggling upon returning, but he'll figure it out. He's still got good ratings. And I don't want him figuring it out against us. He can be great the rest of the year. Just don't cook us. All right, we're off to Washington to finish off this gargantuan road trip. And we get the first win, second win, and we swept them. Bang. Now we come home, we face Arizona and Portland to close out the month. We lose the first game to Arizona. We win the second in 10, and then we win the third, but we do lose Tyler Freeman to a forearm strain, gone for 6 weeks. Dang. And Espino's nicked up as well. He's got 3 weeks strained hamstring, which will moderately influence his running. Okay, so not too bad there. He can play through that. I'm not so concerned about that. Ayala inks the deal. Let's go. Let's put him on the top prospects. Very cool. And then Villarreal signed as well. Bang. Another top prospect. And let's see if there's anybody else. Hey, why not, you know? Whoa, this guy's got 65 potential. Where the hell did he come from? Oh, you know what? I might have been on only batters last time. I think I was. All right, well, let's try to get this guy. Shit, we don't have that much. Does anybody else have any more money? I was going to say the Guardians have 326,000. Hey, stupid, that's you. So what happens to Garza if he doesn't get the money he wants? He just doesn't sign? I have 314. I can give you 314 if you want that. Like, that's all I've got, though. Wait. Don't I have 326? Oh, can you not spend more than the actual number, even if you have it? That's stupid. Wait, no, it's allowing us. Okay, wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, bud. I've only got 326. Maybe he'll come back around. I don't know if it works the same way as real free agent, Major League free agency. I shouldn't say real free agency, like this isn't real. But maybe he'll come back around. If not, maybe Gilberto De La Paz, 65 range. Some aspects of a bat, switch hitter. So maybe there's that. We'll see. We're picking up some extra players here. It's nothing too crazy. We're just seeing what's out there. We're kind of playing, solo there too. Nobody's really going against us. There's nobody else with any money. I did scout Robert on accident, remember? His contact went down again, though. Turns out we did find something in that scout. All right. Finishing up the month. We took that series against Arizona. Can we win every series this month? We will have to beat Portland to do so, but frankly, even if we don't, I can't be too upset about the month, man. Shit's going very well here. And we got some more emails real quick. Power rankings, bang. Choreo gets injury report. Oh no, what happened to Jason Choreo? Oh, broken kneecap. Oh, he's murked, dude. Definitely not turning out like Brother Jackson, unfortunately. It happens, All right, so we got 3 against Portland. We lose the first one. Win the third one. Second one. Win the third one, please. Please. Pitcher of the month was Bieber, baby. Let's go. Tell me we won that third one. I knew it. I freaking knew it. We lose one series and it ends up being to an expansion team. We lose 7-2. They went 10-12. A little tip of the cap to them. They came out in their first month ever as an organization and said, hey, we can knock around a little bit. Ranger Suarez off to a blazing hot start for them, 1.78 ERA. That'll play. Okay. That's so funny, though. Like, that's just so baseball and OOTP, but that happens in real baseball, too. Uh-oh. Sore wrist now 2 to 3 weeks for Espino. Okay, so he's got compounding injuries. Lovely. Now, that will affect his hitting and throwing. Well, I imagine throwing should at least somewhat relate to pitching, right? You kind of throw when you pitch. So, let's go ahead and give him... Let's just give him a little 4-day breather. Let's just try to help him out a little bit. Oh, let's see what kind of innings he's pitching to. Like, what are his appearances looking like? All right, so starting with, when did the season start? Season opener was the 7th. It was the 7th, that's right. So starting there for Espino on the 7th. He didn't pitch till the 10th, 2 1/3. Well, 4-inning biddy there. That's what I love to see. 4 innings of 4-hit ball, no runs, no walks, 5 Ks. That's amazing. 1 1/3, 1 1/3, 0. He didn't record an out. He only faced 1 batter. Okay. 0, and then 2/3, and then 1, 1. 1/3, 1/3, I should say. Not 1, 1, as though that's 1 inning. So, real small usage there. Now, he pitched every game in the Washington series, but only totaled an inning and a third. So, I don't know. Situationally, sure. But then the next 2 outings were inning and 2/3 and an inning. So, for the most part, he's being used the way we want. It's 13 innings and 10 outings for Espino. And he might have gotten hurt. He got hurt on the 28th and the 22nd. Let's see what those outings looked like. 28th, okay, so he still threw an inning on that one, and then the 22nd was one of the third of an inning outings. So maybe that played a role. Overall, though, it's fine. Let's see what Bieber did with this pitcher of the month situation. He went 4-0 and put up a 1.57 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. That's a little high for such a good ERA, but nothing crazy. 14% strikeout minus walk, which is solid, but looks like, and I mean, this is really interesting. Sorry, I'm kind of fumbling over my words because as I'm taking this all in, he had this amazing ERA. I think the 93% left on base rate, that played a role. but I expected to see like a 180 BABIP or something, or a 25% strikeout minus walk. I expected to see some standout stats. It's really been great control and stranding the runners who do get on, which, again, you always have to understand the difference between unsustainable and lucky. I think we throw the word luck around too much in the baseball world when we really mean to say unsustainable. Just because something is unsustainable doesn't mean that it was completely by luck and just happened to you and you were just there to take it in. And I don't like when that kind of gets thrown around like that, like, oh, he was just lucky to put up that BABIP. No, he was pitching some of his best ball, so he put up a 190 BABIP. And yes, it will regress because he won't pitch his best ball for 30 starts, right? So it's things like that. It might be seen as semantics, but I do think it's important to stress the differences between those two things. But anyway, Bieber had a wonderful month. Let's take a look at how the team did and wrap up this episode. We'll come back the next episode and we'll be pretty deep into the season. We're not going to play every month out like this, but I like doing that sometimes. Usually the first month and then September is how I like to play those out. Plus we need another player here. I didn't replace Freeman. Is it Watson time? If he's doing well in the minors, we can make it Watson time. He's not doing that well. 34% K rate too. That scares me. So it might be Ramon Urias time. Actually, he's not doing that well either. You know what? We're trying to compete. We got a spot. We have 3 spots on the 40, in fact. Let's call up Watson. We're off to a brilliant start at 16-6. Let's not dance around with not bringing up a potentially impact player when we can. So let's go ahead and go back here and take him off the 4 start at shortstop. Khalil Watson onto the team. He'll automatically go onto the 40. And bang, in against righties, batting 8th, doing his thing. Whoops. And then against lefties, he'll be the backup second and shortstop. And he'll play every third against lefties. Actually, he'll be the backup third baseman too. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. I like that. And then let's look at some stats. Looking at the ball club here, the catchers. Woof. You can add up their WRC pluses and they're barely a league average player. You know, that's my old staple line because that's not how that stat works. So that just really underscores how shitty they've been. David Fry, 118. We like that. We're not going to make too much out of any of these samples, especially for the part-timers. That's 6 games for David Fry. He's doing well. You can only do what you can do in the 20 plate appearances you get, but it doesn't mean like, oh, he's great now. No, he's just playing well so far. Josh Naylor, great month. 6 homers. That's the most important part for me. I love seeing that power. 135 WRC plus. Andres Jimenez, 121 WRC plus for him. So very nice as well. Solid numbers, good plate skills, 400 OBP. Yes. 11% walk rate. That's right. You remember he had the training on that. So up to 11%. Now, I don't know if he's going to hold all those gains because he's only a 50. That's probably closer to like an 8-9%. But he's at 11% right now if you round up. Oh my goodness, if he could hold that, that'd be unreal. Andy Ibanez, mostly playing against lefties. And he's whatever. He's about a league average guy. We're not too concerned there. J-Ram, killing it. 140 WRC plus, 4 bombs, 18 ribbies. More walks than strikeouts by a decent margin. That's awesome. Gabriel Arias playing brilliantly. 189 WRC plus for him, despite a 32% K rate. He's running hot. 545 BABIP. Running hot is an understatement. He is blazing. If his bat is within like 5 inches of the ball just floats out and finds the nearest grass or the stands. He does have a couple homers, so that's great. Khalil Watson just got called up. Chase DeLauder, 141 WRC plus with 3 bombs. Let's go, baby. Johnny DeLuca, only a 63 WRC plus. But we need his defense. He's been flat. He's been a 0 WAR. No worries there. Kerstead, 5 bombs, 163 WRC plus. Come on, baby. We love that. Renfro only has, well, actually 40 plate appearances, maybe a few more than I would have thought. I don't have a frame of reference for how many lefties we faced, though, so I guess that 40 makes sense. But he only has an 80 WRC plus, and much worse against lefties. That's funny. But we're not going to freak out about 22 plate appearances against lefties for Renfroe. And then Stowers, we've been seeing him at almost every box score we click. He's done something. He's got 6 bombs and a 168 WRC plus. So the offense is blazing. I expect to see a lot of single-digit rankings here, and it's a bunch of top 4s all over the place. We're 6th in Ks. Oh, and by the way, I said it wrong last episode or 2 episodes ago when I was doing the season review. I thought the Ks... I thought they just graded you or ranked you in terms of how many times you struck out. Not what I would consider the proper way, but they actually do it the proper way. So that's my fault there for assuming that they did it the wrong way, which was like if you have the 6th most Ks, it would say you were 6th. No, you had the 6th fewest, which is the way it should be. But for some reason, I had it in my mind that they did it wrong. So we were 2nd in Ks last year, which means we had the 2nd fewest. And right now we have the 6th fewest. 3rd in stolen bases, 6th in base running. Okay. On the pitching side, we know Bieber got pitcher of the month. Raylo, only a 5.70 ERA, 156 whip. Rough. Tanner Bybee, 883, 202. What the hell is going on? Holy smokes. Back-to-back 6 earned run outings. That's going to do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. So he has 4 starts, right? So if 2 of them are utter dog shit, it's going to take some time to work that off. So we're going to give him time. Let's not panic. It's very bad, but if this were real life, I wouldn't even be balking on somebody like him of his caliber, because the next 2 starts were great. 5 1/3, 2 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs. So let's see what happens over the next 5 or 6 before we do anything. Logan Allen had a nice month, 25 innings of a 3.24 ERA, 104 whip. And Tristan McKenzie in his whatever role we're doing right now. Okay, after that 1 inning outing, he had 2 and 1 innings in his first 2 outings when we had him as an opener. We put him on just regular, but still with the batter count, 4 and 4 1/3. So that definitely works. I wonder if maybe we give him an opener. Let's try that. Let's try giving him an opener and then making him a follower. Because then if he's getting those 18 batters faced in the middle innings, not only will fantasy owners love me, fantasy managers across the world will love me for putting Tristan McKenzie in these great win opportunities, like the great Ryan Yarbrough season of, what was that, 2018 or some shit? When did he get all those wins as the follower? 2017? 2017 was my first guess. It was 2018. 16 wins. With only 6 starts. It was brilliant. We've been chasing that ever since. I always make jokes about how fantasy managers would hate me because I don't anoint as a solo closer. But here I am now trying to win them back with this Tristan McKenzie gambit. So we'll see how that goes. And we do have a traditional closer this year. It is Class A, so leave me alone, fantasy dweebs. Imagine like fake playing baseball. What kind of dork do you have to be? Here's one. Imagine if you made your whole career off of it. Oh my God, dude. What a freaking dork you'd have to be. Self-roast. All right. Look at the relievers here. Franco Alomar will sort by innings. He has 19 1/3, and he's been great, at least skills-wise. Yep, and results-wise. I was going to say 30% K rate, 9% walk. I'm going to be happy even if the ERA sucks, but it doesn't. 3.26 ERA, 103 whip. Joey Cantillo has 15 1/3, 4.70 ERA, 143 whip. BABIP is running hot, and the walk rate is just crazy hot right now. And that's why at this juncture, he really can't start because he just walks too many guys. Now, we'll have to keep an eye on this. It's not in a dire situation yet. It's early, and let's see if he has like a couple bad outings or if it's consistent. Okay, a five-run outing is going to carry the numbers down a lot. A lot. So I'm not too freaked out right now, but he does need to get the walks in check or else we'll have to take him out of the high leverage spot. Kyle Bradish, 3.60 ERA, 153 whip. Also has a little bit of a walk issue at 13%. Daniel Espino, 33% K rate, 2% walk rate. That is unreal in 13 innings. I don't expect that to maintain, but I love it. 2.08 ERA, 1 on the dot whip. Sam Hentges, 3.27 ERA, 1.27 whip, 13% on his strikeout minus walk. James Karinchak has a 35% strikeout minus walk. It's not because he found some new control or anything, still 12% walk rate. It's because he's striking out 47% of the batters he's facing. So he has a 1.74 ERA and an 0.87 whip. And then Clase, he lost some stamina, so we put him in the traditional closer role. 9 innings in 10 appearances with a 29% K rate, or excuse me, 30%, 5% walk rate, 1 ERA, and a 1.11 whip. All in all, brilliant. And we do shutdowns and meltdowns here. It's a great stat. It measures your impact on win probability added. If you add 6%, you get a shutdown. If you lose 6% or more to the win probability for the team, you get a meltdown. Right now, we only have 5 meltdowns, and we have, 28 shutdowns. Bullpen's been on fire, including Cantillo, 7-0. Okay, so wait. How did he not get a meltdown for the 5 earned runs? Were we already losing? Or were we winning so much? Yes, we were winning by so much that it didn't matter. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. If he can keep that non-meltdown streak going, that'd be amazing, because I can't believe that he dodged that one. All right, so there you go. First month in the books. Looking good so far. We got a long way to go, but I love where things are at. Let me go back real quick to the rankings. Pitching rankings are all great too, except for the walk rate, or the walks are at 13, 79 walks, so too many walks. But everything else looking good. Well, the zone rating is also at 13, so don't say everything else, Paul, but almost everything. So yeah, love where that's at. I'll come back, probably be sometime in June, depending on what happens too, right? I'll give a general framework of where I might be, but if something huge happens, of course I'm going to come in, interrupt at that point, and either give you the good news or the bad news, depending on which way we're going. So right now things have been great. Hopefully they continue. I'll see y'all next episode. Peace.